everyone, welcome back to the Steel Donut. My name is Matt, and with me today I have Blake.
Hey, everybody.
And Connor.
Hello there.
And Yella.
Good day.
And welcome back to Classic Creepies. Today we're looking at an old one called The Theater.
I mean,
right?
isn't that kind of the gimmick of the whole thing?
Yeah, but this one's a very old one.
Because people have sort of refined their technique into writing, pretty decent horror stories these days. I've read quite a few good ones, but like back in the day, it was a real wild, like shot in the dark, like whether or not you get anything good.
Yeah, this one's called The Theater by Anonymous. September 4th is when this was put on the website, 2010.
Yeah, looks like it. I think it's a little bit older than that. Now this story's
10 years old.
Now this story sort of demonstrates why it's nearly impossible to make a video game creepypasta scary. I think the only one I ever really liked, and I haven't read it recently, so it's effects probably lessened with time. Up. But like the NES Godzilla creepypasta by Cosby Dap, I always thought was pretty good. He put a lot of work into the sprites and character design, so that one was kind of cool. But like this one just demonstrates that like the idea of sitting down and playing a video game, the video game might be scary, but you won't be scared for your life because it's a video game.
Yeah, that's honestly because I mean, horror as a genre for video games exists.
Already exists, so it's like...
I was going to say, have you seen my Silent Hill 2 creepypasta? There's nothing original there, it's just Silent Hill 2.
It's just Silent... Yeah, exactly.
That would be terrifying.
It's just my playthrough of Silent Hill 2. It's my Silent
Hill, like, some of the Resident Evils, like, it's already horror. There's already horror elements there.
Anyway, this has an estimated reading time of 5 minutes, so if this video is longer than 5 minutes, once again, this site has failed.
Well, we've used half our time already, so let's go. Have you ever heard of an old PC game called The Theater? Yeah, I didn't think so.
Okay.
Probably because many people say it doesn't even exist. You see, The Theater is an old computer game, released around the same time as Doom.
I mean, Doom
very old.
So old. Today, if you ever find it, it's only available on crappy bootleg CD-ROMs.
Yeah,
it's not on the
internet.
Nobody's ever
uploaded a game on the internet. Nobody's ever put a game on the internet.
Wait, so 2010 and he's calling Doom old then. It's like, man, computer games have been around since like the 70s.
I remember when I got my copy of Doom, it was only on a crappy bootleg CD-ROM.
Are you sure it wasn't on a floppy disk? Because, I mean, that's what I would guess.
No, it's on a clappy bootleg CD-ROM is how I got Doom, Nobody put it on the internet because it's old.
Honestly. I mean, it probably would have been released on CD. It probably had both a floppy and a CD release. I'm not sure,
I mean, Doom was released on literally everything through any medium, so probably.
Yeah. Because CD-ROMs really took off after Myst, so, I mean, it would have been right in that time frame. Oh, well.
Only 7 compact discs.
The only 7. Which more often than not...
Not.
It was all for naught, my dudes.
The actual legitimate copies that they say were released back in the day feature a blank cover with nothing but the sprite of what has since been named the Ticket Taker. So it's not blank.
See, this is one of Kanye West's early albums.
Oh, yeah. One of Death Grip's early albums.
This was Yeezus too, I see.
I always love it. It was entirely blank except for all the shit on it.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, it's not all the shit. There's only a single sprite on it, so only that's just a very small image.
Yeah, well, I mean, in general, people will say stuff like that. It was blank, except for the lettering and the creepy picture, and it's like, so it's not. He is simply a early drawn, pixelated Caucasian, bald man with large red lips wearing a red vest over a white shirt and black pants.
Why the
it's pretty detailed,
pixelated Caucasian?
Especially for the early 90s. That's pretty detailed.
Yeah. For a sprite, like
Caucasian.
Like, I'm wondering how many bits this sprite is, because that's a good amount of detail.
Yeah, you're saying it's supposed to be just a tiny little image, but, it seems
I mean, it might be just a big
pretty
piece of sprite art.
Yeah.
No. He is completely emotionless.
He's also motionless.
He's a fucking sprite.
He is a picture, yeah. Though some say that if you smash the disc, his face is shown as angry the next time you look at the cover.
What? Why?
Why would you smash the disc, though?
Why would I be doing that? I guess because it's scary or whatever, but like...
I was scared. My hand just went off on its own.
I remember whenever I played Silent Hill 2 and I got spooked and I smashed the disc and I looked at the cover.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, you shouldn't be doing that to your disc. What's wrong with you?
Yeah.
That disc did nothing wrong.
But this is just dismissed as an urban myth. Myth? What is peculiar about the theater, though, is that there is no developer named on the jewel case, nor a game description on the back. It is simply the ticket taker on a white backdrop on both sides.
If it's a crappy bootleg CD-ROM...
No, these are the legitimate ones.
Oh, right, the legitimate copy.
No. Yeah, I agree.
I wonder why it only mostly exists on like crappy bootleg.
Yeah, that's like
exactly.
The original
CD
point.
is like garbage.
Yeah, the original one sounds like a fucking crappy bootleg CD-ROM as well.
I mean, if we're gonna read this whole thing, you're gonna find out this literally just sounds like some unfinished game that got leaked. The game was initially known for its inability to install correctly.
Yeah,
the installation process,
to everything.
poorly compiled. Yeah, the installation process immediately locks up the computer when the user reaches the licensing agreement. Also strange about the licensing agreement for the theater is that whenever the development studio is supposed to be named, the text is simply a blank line.
That doesn't
sounds like they hadn't found a distributor yet. Yeah. Or maybe they hadn't named their studio. It's their first game. Anyways, most people...
I usually leave all that shit blank whenever I'm running through some test stuff.
Yeah.
You know?
Anyways.
Anyway, moving on.
Most people who have claimed to own one of the original CDs say that they figured out how to install the game by simply rebooting their computer on the licensing agreement with the disc still inside. They are then prompted to press I agree on startup.
But
then they continue with the installation.
Some people... Oh no, most people. Okay, for a second I thought it was like some people.
Take the disc out when
yeah,
you
that was what I was
computer?
Confused about. But then it was like, okay, most people. So I guess some idiots did that, but...
Like what? Like...
Then they continue with the installation. The game then starts up without any introduction besides a main menu that is simply the sprite of a movie theater's exterior. Could you stop saying simply for everything? The sprite of a movie theater's exterior on an empty city street.
That is an introduction, isn't it?
No. This is simply a riff from Simply the Steel Donut Collective.
We're
sponsored by Simply Green for this video.
I'm Simply Matt.
Yeah. The title fades in, and then the 3 menu buttons, new game, load options. Oh, that's an interesting button. What about the other 2?
Yeah.
Selecting options immediately crashes the game to the desktop. Load is said not to function at all. This sounds like fucking Big Rigs.
Yeah. Is this the secret Big Rigs over the road racing creepypasta the whole time?
I can write a Big Rigs creepypasta like this. There was a game. It was rumored to be horrible, but very few had played it. When you started it up, none of the options worked. You were simply driving around in an empty, spooky void. See?
Yeah, if you went backwards, you could go faster than forwards, and if you held back long enough, you would accelerate to the point where you warped across the whole world.
Yeah.
One thing I will say, though, that I'm glad about here is that at least load doesn't crash the game like options does.
Yeah,
it's just set not to function at all.
Yeah. My favorite thing in
Did
Big
you know
Rigs...
that Big Rigs, if you continue to hold back long enough, you will eventually automatically win the game?
Yeah, because you're traveling so fast.
Because you travel across everything, and you eventually touch every single point on the world, and one of them is the finish line.
You're traveling so fast that at the shortest period of time your processor can calculate, you are at every single point on the map.
Exactly, yeah, that's what it was, yeah.
Yeah, so
one of them is the finish line.
It's really interesting. Even if you do have a save game, nothing happens when you press it. Thus, New Game is the only working menu option.
So this just sounds like a game that doesn't work correctly.
Yeah, like Blake said earlier, this just sounds like a leaked early version, like a alpha version, yeah. Like most of the stuff isn't working.
That is a horror of the modern day.
Yeah.
You get a disc for like a new game and you load it up and then there's an 80 gigabyte patch that's, the actual game.
Yeah.
It wasn't a horror of 2010 though, was it?
This came true,
Yeah.
Nowadays, new games have discs that simply don't work.
Suggested retail price of $9. Jesus. Look at that picture. May I have your ticket, please?
Provided by Redacted, free of charge. Suggested retail price $99. Redacted. Software copyright 1993.
I do like having the suggested retail price as part of the menu.
It really does sound like a super alpha demo.
Actually, I'm still working on my game. I think I'm going to slide that into my game's main menu right now.
Wait,
as soon as we're done recording this, I'll put a suggested retail price.
Guys, suggested retail price is $9, but it's also provided by Redacted, free of charge.
Well, yeah, because it's clearly, like I said, that makes it even seem even more like something that you would present as a demo. Because there's a bunch of placeholders. And it's like something you'd ship around. Like that Batman, that unfinished Batman game that got leaked,
Yeah, this is like a like a badly made demo that's like it's a free demo. The suggested retail price of the full game is X.
Please, please fucking buy our game and publish it, please.
Yeah, this is like it's like a publisher demo, but it's still not. It's like they put that information in, and they didn't finish developing the game because, as you'll see, it's not quite in like a publisher demo status yet. Once it is selected, you are in the first-person view. You are standing in an empty movie theater lobby, with the exception of the ticket takers standing in front of a dark hallway, which one can only assume leads to the theaters themselves.
Well, there's when nothing you assume, to do. You make an ass out of and E.
Yeah, there's nothing to do but look at the poorly drawn, mostly illegible movie posters or approach the ticket taker.
I mean,
once
that's
the player
just
moves towards the ticket taker.
Hang on, is that ticket taker the one wearing sunglasses?
Yes. Once the player moves toward the ticket taker, a very low-quality sound clip plays saying,
"Thank you, please enjoy the movie."
Along with a speech box saying the same thing. You then walk into the hallway and the screen fades to black and you're back in the empty lobby and you do the exact thing again and again and again.
Oh man, so not Silent Hill PT.
Now, if this was about clocking in at work, then it would be a metaphor for our lives.
Yeah.
Some say,
Thank you, please enjoy your day at work. Thank you, please enjoy your day at work. Over and over and over.
You're experiencing the ticket taker's, dilemma through being one of the customers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I guess.
This is his life. He has to sit here and do the same shit 8 hours a day. It's really draining.
Yeah, with not even good benefits. Benefits are terrible. There's no way for him to ever, make it up the corporate ladder or anything. Like, it's just a dead end, man.
He's really jealous of the guy who gets to make the popcorn. He's got the real money.
Yeah, at least that guy has like career options and stuff. Like, that guy can move up in the world. This guy, ticket taker, he's just stuck here forever.
God, I could go for a big bowl of popcorn right now.
I just made myself sad thinking about this poor ticket taker.
No, and the death of movie theaters. While this may sound like a really horrible game, a number of peculiar things occur as you continue to play.
Yeah, this really does sound like it sucks. I don't think I want to play this.
The number of times that you have to continue into the hall after giving your ticket to the ticket taker before the strange events happen is unknown.
Did nobody count?
I like how it's like almost no one knows about this, but there's enough to say most know. Like he was able to poll people.
Nobody knows except most people.
Yeah, most state that it's completely random and could take anywhere from the first playthrough to the 400th. What happens, though, is deeply disturbed.
Did I beat the whole game when I walk through there?
Wait, has deeply disturbed some players.
Oh, okay. Only a few of them. Yeah, one or two.
The first occurrence is when the player fades back in after walking into the hallway. This time they will notice the ticket taker is completely absent.
Damn, how will I enter the theater now?
Oh my god. Oh, I just pissed myself. Fuck.
Your only friend, the ticket taker.
What happens next?
The player then, without any other options, decides to walk into the dark hallway.
Oh, no, not walk in the dark hallway. Fuck.
Okay, wow, you little jerk. You don't know me.
I might just shut off the game.
Oh, yeah, they have no other options.
No.
If you want to continue playing, I guess not.
Yeah, the sound clip and text box mentioned previously still play in the absence of the ticket taker.
Well,
when the player walks into the hallways, the screen does not fade out. It goes pitch black as they walk deeper into the hall, but the player's footstep sound clip is still playing as they continue to push the up button on their keyboard.
Okay, so what that sounds like to me is that for some reason they tied the loading zone to the ticket taker, and when the ticket taker is removed, so is the loading zone.
No, and
that would be such an awful way to program this game, but this whole game sounds like it wasn't ever finished, so I believe it.
Well, and also because the hallway is intended to fade out, it's not there's no actual boundary, so you're just walking out into the void right now. Yeah. That's why you don't see anything.
Right. You've left the level.
Yeah. So you're gonna run into the Gabe box, the Gaben box. Mm-hmm. Those claiming to have played the original game report again. What the fuck is this investigative report? The original game report to have felt extremely uncomfortable walking down the hallway, anticipating the whole way something horrible happening.
Why though?
Well, eventually the player was unable to move forward. You've hit the boundary line. There's nothing for a few moments before a strange sprite that is described as the ticket taker, but with a swirl for a face.
That's not remotely scary sounding.
You're watching this video, and then the steel donut, but with a swirl for a face appears.
No, you see, instead of the steel, it's the logo at the beginning, but it's like a swirl effect is applied to it.
No.
Scary.
appears and stands before the player. The original players of the game. The OGs.
The first people who played this game.
Yeah, patients 0 and 0 and 0 and 0. Say their bodies immediately froze up and their stomachs churned.
It's 0-1 and 0-2.
No, man, they're all zeros down here.
Well,
the original players of the game say their bodies immediately froze up and their stomachs churned. They saw the sprite, which has been appropriately named the Swirly Head Man.
Oh, man, wow. What a creative name.
Okay.
Well, I guess it was an appropriate name, not a creative name.
Yeah, no, true. We
do call dogs dogs after all.
That does feel like...
That is the name God gave them, yes.
But, that does feel like something like how the internet would name something, you know?
Yeah.
A very slender man. His name is Slender Man.
It's like that movie poster. I can't remember what the actual title is, but it's like you laugh at his name and then he kills you, and the Photoshop is the pee pee poo poo man.
No.
So here, the Swirly Head Man.
Oh yeah. That's the Bye Bye Man. That's an edit of the Bye Bye Man.
Same kind of energy.
Yeah. Pee pee poo poo man.
Well, the Swirly Head Man, the Bye Bye Man. You know.
They named their villain the Bye Bye Man.
Yeah.
Like I'm supposed to be scared.
He makes you go bye-bye.
Fucking bye-bye, man. I remember when I was referencing that shit years ago, and the steel donut, nobody knew.
It's so fucking
bad.
I
think Bob caught my reference.
I know everything about the Bye-Bye Man. It's fucking
I don't know if you were on that video, but I remember Bob caught that fucking reference.
Yeah.
Don't say it, don't think it.
Don't say it, don't think it. Don't say it, don't think it. Nothing happens as the Swirly Head Man stands before them. Suddenly, a piercing screech plays as the game glitches out. This lasts for a few minutes. Again, people just sat there listening to it.
Huh?
With the screeching being continuous.
I could not sit there for more than 1 minute of this.
I guess what it is people at some point went to investigate, because this reads like a kind of like an investigative report, like you said. People just investigate. I guess they just turned their volume very low and then just timed it.
Yeah, they prepared themselves by listening to a lot of Yoko Ono records.
Also an option, I guess.
With the screeching being continuous. Then the players abruptly return to the lobby with all the sounds and graphics being as they should be. Yeah, so it sounds like an error, a mistake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At least it self-fixes.
Yeah. The game continues normally for the next couple of cycles of entering the hallway. With a couple of the original players claiming the Swirly Head Man would briefly appear and disappear in the corner of the screen as a brisk yelp sound effect plays.
Help!
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, make sure you visit Yelp restaurant reviews and shit. Actually, fuck Yelp.
Yeah, fuck you.
Every time I try to go there, they're like, I'm sorry, you can't access this with your VPN. And I'm just like, well, I'll go somewhere else for my restaurant reviews. Then at some point after meeting the Swirly Head Man, the player sees the ticket taker pacing back and forth. Though there is no walking animation, the sprite's limbs are completely static, so he just hops up and down slightly as a substitute.
What?
Sounds very unfinished.
What?
Sounds like it would have been easier to just move him back and forth.
Just have him slide.
Yeah, just fucking slide, bro.
With his eyes being bend down, touch your toes, and just slide.
Yeah.
With his eyes being wide and his mouth open to simulate a worried facial expression.
I guess they already had the time to change the sprite to have a different face, but they didn't bother animating anything else yet.
This is starting to sound less like an unfinished game and more like just a really shitty game.
Some players noted that the movie posters had been replaced with images of the Swirly Head Man, which caused them to immediately turn their character's head away from the posters and approach the ticket taker.
Why not just look at the Swirly Head Man?
Can I move my character's head?
No, I think it's a first-person game.
It's first-person, but there's these huge sprites, kind of like Doom.
Yeah. So it sounds like you look that way, and then it automatically reorients the camera differently.
This sounds like a really weird, what are they called for Doom? WAD. This sounds like a really weird Doom WAD.
It sounds like a wad of shit.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Which caused them to immediately turn. Then another different low-quality sound clip plays, but the speech box contains nothing but corrupted characters that cause whatever text that would have been in the box to be completely illegible.
That's what corruption does.
No. Due to the extremely low quality of the sound, it is debated by players what exactly the ticket taker says at this point, though it is widely agreed that he says,
"Never reach the other levels."
Yeah, never reach.
Don't do it.
Don't do it.
Don't say it.
Don't do
worry,
it, you naughty boy.
I'm probably going to turn the game off.
Oh, you naughty boy! Don't you do it?
Don't worry, buddy. I ain't got the patience to sit through this shit.
Tons of ticket-giving action.
No, please don't leave.
Awaits you in the other levels that you'll never reach. Then the screen fades out once again and returns the player back to their starting point in the lobby. But the ticket taker is gone, and the hallway is blocked by a large brick wall sprite. Touching the brick wall will immediately crash the game, and that's all there is to it. No one knows what the other levels are, or how to gain access to them. Nor is it known why the swirly head man causes such acute fear in those who have seen him in the game. All the original copies of the theater have either been lost or destroyed.
Wow, they got destroyed. Who destroyed it?
And I'm like, bro, it probably causes fear because when he first appears, it's in the middle of a black void and with a loud sound effect. I mean, that's startling.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's probably what causes the fear. I mean, minutes of silence, and all of a sudden something pops up and you hear screeching.
Yeah, that's called, it's literally just a screamer in video game form.
Yeah, no wonder it causes such acute fear. That triggers
that's literally
an
just
immediate response. It triggers a fear response. Yeah. All the original copies have been destroyed, but the creepiest part is the fact that all the original players of the game claim to occasionally see a brief glimpse of the swirly head man out of the corner of their eyes.
Sounds like trauma.
Wait, out of both eyes, they're like cross-eyed or something.
Yeah,
I'm going cross-eyed. So
credited
was
to
that
Anonymous.
It? Where's the waiting for the horror part to show up?
That
was it, huh?
Are you not sufficiently scared, man?
Yeah,
no,
and
not really.
It links a sequel here that just demystifies it further. It's like, no, this is not haunted or anything. It's just a really shitty game, and it gives like this fake history of it, and it's just like,
why
it makes
though?
this even more pointless. It's an amazing sequel. And of course, somebody made some Unity version of this, and everyone.
Oh yeah, Critical played this.
Yeah.
Back in the day, whenever he played horror games, and it was really funny.
Yeah.
Before he does whatever he does now. I didn't know that.
But yeah, so that's the theater, kind of a dead fish of a creepypasta.
Yeah, there's just not much here, really.
Say what you will about Jeff the Killer, at least that went gonzo. It went all out. This is just so there was kind of a boring game that didn't work very well and was barely finished. And
yeah, how is this a creep?
By the way,
wondering how this is a creepypasta.
One sentence that gives it a supernatural edge where it's sometimes people see him out of the corner of their eye. I don't know, scary story, I'm done.
I like how almost all the comments here are from 2010. Oh man, this just takes you back.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is how the world
what was happening 10 years ago. Let's see.
I guess this is why video game creepypastas had to evolve to haunting you in real life and killing your family and hyper realistic graphics and whatever, because without that, I don't know, I'm not saying that works all the time, but without that, yeah, it sounds
like a kind of
just sounds like a
game.
Bad game.
Yeah, it's just because here's the thing, without any sort of outside threat, it's just someone playing a video game.
Yeah,
there has to be something
not even
more than
a
just
particularly scary one either. There are games like we said, horror is a genre, and that is horror games are just by default, on the account of being horror, scarier than this is. This is one jump scare.
Yeah, hey,
that's
what was that game where you had to open up your files and there was a white face or something that followed you?
Yeah, you're talking about I'm Scared?
I'm Scared. When did I'm Scared come out? Before or after this?
No, way after this. I mean, it's sort of this.
I was gonna say,
and that's why it's effective, because it fucks with you.
Yeah, it's just this made me think of games like I'm Scared, except games like I'm Scared are actually good, and this just seems like a really shitty game.
They're actually scary.
But that's the theater. That is the theater. And make sure you check out the Classic Creepies playlist for the rest of our Creepypasta readings this month. Thank you so much for watching, and an extra special thanks to our Platinum level patrons, Polly Heber, Dr. Faust, Hoshkoff, ODST795, and Stannis the Manus. If you'd like to support us, make sure you check out the description. There's links to our Patreon and PayPal. There's also a link to a Google form. You can fill that out if you have a story you'd like us to cover. You'll also see a link to our casting call page. Right now, we're working on setting up a big project that will be debuting in January of next year. It's the largest story that we've ever covered, and there's a ton of voices. And right now, you can audition to be one of the voices in the story. The instructions are there on the page. Just follow the link and submit your audition. We're looking forward to hearing it. Thanks again for your support, and have a wonderful day.